Hey guys, I'm SD Wolf. Welcome back to Saturday at the Springs, our weekly weekend jaunt around the park. And this week, heavily Grizzly Peak expedition focus. This is what I've been working on. This is the whole kind of like my entire end of last weekend, beginning of this week, end of this week. I have been totally Grizzly Peak focused and I've been having a blast. I've been using your all's feedback, trying to get things figured out, you know, trying to make this layout and this ride as interesting as possible. Brought in some new theming with the Grizzly Peak Mining Company, just giving a little bit more of the kind of like the, you know, the Grizzly IP out here along the routes of the ride. Testing out some different layouts and configurations. A lot of you guys had pointed out that after this drop, it basically, you know, kind of zoomed right back over to the station. And I think you're right. I think the ride kind of died a little prematurely. So what I did was I kind of I made it circle its way back into the mountain twice actually. So see, they hit this last drop and then they kind of make their way over the mine shaft here and then down in it. They come out, back in it one more time, and then they make their way kind of towards the final brake run here. So yeah, that's the layout I have right now. Of course, I mean, you guys obviously just keep giving me suggestions. I mean, there are a ton of different things we could do. I was even thinking about, you know, we could always remove the little helter-skelter over here and we could bring the drop actually just off the cliff side on this way and maybe have some kind of little switchback that brings it back over here into the mountain. You know, yeah, I'm all ears. Anything you guys could think to spark an idea, or that you might have, you've like looked at this and thought, hey, maybe this will work or this might work better. I was also even thinking like right here, maybe not make it such a sheer drop and maybe like go more Big Thunder Mountain-ish and kind of have it like, you know, maybe a couple little tiered drops and then it makes its way kind of through the mountain to the end. But yeah, but like I said, I'm all ears. This is just me kind of spitballing a little bit and just trying to come up with not making the ride end so abruptly after that last drop is really kind of what I was thinking about with this. And of course, if you guys haven't seen or you haven't been around in a little over a week or so, Grizzly Peak, it runs 2 trains now. So we've got it up to 2 trains running. So very cool. Your queue and stuff, I've not done anything with it yet. It still just kind of ends right there. I kind of wanted to get the rest of the ride going and figured out, and then we'll get in here and really kind of design a fun mine-themed, more immersive queue. The only other thing too that we've not done here, which we might be able to branch out maybe off this way, is to do like a maintenance building, just something where they can take it off the main line and work on the trains. I don't know, we'll have to look into that. But yes, that is kind of what we have going on there. We did a video earlier in the week. Enchanted Forest has a second little entrance now, kind of coming over here on the toad bottom side. You've got the little whirly rig, and yeah, just tried to make it as shady as we could, trying to keep, you know, that forest vibe. That was an issue that I was kind of facing at the end of last weekend. Just this being so open and so much sun was not feeling very foresty. And so, yeah, like I said, I just not a lot messed with out here. Really this whole week, my entire attention span was Grizzly Peak. And worth it. Like, I think it was definitely a ride we needed to, you know, definitely an attraction area that we needed to come back and, you know, just take a second look at, make it more interesting. And, you know, that's kind of been the style of Wilderness Springs. Just, I'll get things a certain way that, at a certain time it looked good, or I thought, yeah, that works. But I think nothing in the park is untouchable as far as going back and let's give this another look over. Like, is there something better we can do? And that's really, honestly, that's what's fun about the whole resort. Just the, like, always being able to reinvent itself. But I think that we have it we do it in a way, and we tweak it in a way that makes it seem like it may have always been like that. Because, I mean, you guys can't argue if you're just like, say you just found the channel up yesterday or a week ago, you would, if you go back, and it might still be on the workshop, some of those older versions, if you went back to October, or November of last year, December, really kind of when Wilderness Springs was in its infancy. Well, probably, I don't remember when did we start the actual theme park. That might be February. The theme park side may actually be coming up on its anniversary here in a few months. But the point is, you would not recognize this map. We have done so many changes with your all's help and, suggestions that you all have had. And yeah, I haven't been showing this lately, but remember, the theme park is just one part of the resort. It has a whole water park area, and the water park is where everything started. The first thing I ever built in Planet Coaster 2 was this Viking facade and this bridge over the water. So like right here, this was like my first screenshot ever. I might have to make this the thumbnail this time. This was where it all started. It kind of all started with the idea of I wanted a little facade bridge that you walk under to go out into the water park. And then we started the infamous Odin's Leap, which was a water slide. If you were here at the growing pains at the beginning of the game, we couldn't get anyone to ride. So we had this, this really cool double slide, kind of based after Fire Tower Falls in Dollywood Splash Country, but nobody would ride it. And I have the water park closed right now, but yeah, so then it kind of just, it spanned out, and I thought, what if we had a resort hotel? Like, what if we just had a big convention center resort hotel? And that is where Great Falls Lodge was born. And this was like really way before we had thoughts of doing a theme park. The theme park came along after we did the highway. So this whole project, everything about Wilderness Springs, as you know, started out as a water park. This was just going to be a test map. I just wanted to kind of get in here and practice with the game, learn the pieces, and that was it. We were going to move on to like a quote proper theme park on a totally separate map. Well, we started getting this highway in, and once the highway was in, that's when the comments started saying, well, what about a theme park? Are you going to get to a theme park? Are you going to do roller coasters at all? And really, at first, I was like, I don't know, guys. I'm kind of, we'll get that figured out down the line. I don't know. Like, this is just going to be, I'm just trying to do a nice water park resort with like a Pigeon Forge-esque type highway out front. And then you guys kind of slowly kept prodding me, and I was like, okay, well, maybe what if on the other side of the highway we did like a Dollywood Silver Dollar City-esque type, country fair theme park. And, long story short, the rest is history. And here we are in October of 2025. And we've got a full-fledged resort, water park, theme park combo with a resort hotel on the property. And so this is, has went through many, many iterations. And at one point, all of this land was full. We thought the park was done. I was going to move on to like a new kind of high-budget fantasy park. And, here we are almost a year later. and we are still toiling away at Wilderness Springs. So I am just having a blast with this park. And it's anytime a new update comes out, or, you know, murmurs about like when the sorcery pack came out, my mind immediately goes to Wilderness Springs and what we can add to it. You know, I have a bunch of other little projects. I started, you know, to combat Wilderness Springs burnout. I actually started a beach resort type of hotel. I wanted it to emulate Alani Resort, you know, the Disney resort in Hawaii. And so, needing a little bit of a Wilderness Springs break, we hopped over here to this, and we kind of just started doing a beach resort in the same universe. Like, this is you can even see this is our Kama'aina Lodge out here, and it is a wilderness resort and spa. So I thought that was a fun way to kind of almost like keep the creative juices flowing, but was to make it all like this is the same company. This is just so happens to be their beach resort. And I actually want to do the same thing with Jurassic World Evolution 3. But I'm going to do, like, obviously a dinosaur resort, and it's going to be called Prehistoric Springs. So if you guys are anyways interested in that, we're definitely going to be starting a Jurassic World Evolution 3 series. And the last thing, you know, after this, okay, to clear the burnout of Kama'aina, which I didn't really know what else to do with it. I was kind of feeling a little boxed in. I didn't know what else to try. I was getting kind of over the water park side of things. We started a second park in Hidden Hollow. And this was kind of like my attempt at a low budget park. My buddy my buddy Race Car, I started calling Beyond Drew Beyond Race Car, was kind enough to redo the coaster for me. And yeah, this is just like a little, kind of like as low budget as SDAN can make it. Like, SDAN and low budget are just two words in the dictionary that you will not find near each other. And so this was just kind of like another little side project I was doing that was born from just needing something new, from Kama'aina to Wilderness Springs. And we've not been back in this park in a little while, but it's always fun to just kind of come in and look and see what we were, you know, see what we had going on over here. But yeah, so anyways, guys, I guess I'll leave you here in Hidden Hollow. And I just wanted to give you a little update on Wilderness Springs and where it sits as of this week. And who knows what next Saturday will bring. I've got still a ton of ideas we got to get in and start working on, and definitely appreciate your all's support. And yep, that is it. I will catch you guys in the next video. See ya.